Hey, look at this, man. President Trump is going to be called racist for this. I already see it.
Let me see.
Trump to implement travel ban on Afghanistan, Pakistan over deficient vetting and screening practices, according to reports.
Oh, I've got no issues with him doing this whatsoever.
No whatsoever.
But you already know, man, they're going to call him racist for this.
Sure. Absolutely.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Obama have like a similar travel ban?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I could have swore he did. Was he called racist?
Not that I can remember.
Yeah. 'Cause I remember in Trump's first term.
Not one time that I can remember.
And then during the Wuhan virus, he put in a travel ban from China. They were calling him racist and all this other stuff. Man.
Well, he called it the China virus because it was from China.
It was from China. Yeah. That's exactly what it was. President Donald Trump is set to implement a new travel ban that will bar individuals from Pakistan and Afghanistan from entering the United States, according to a new report from Reuters. This comes after Trump drafted an executive order that directed cabinet members to recommend a list of countries for bans where their vetting and screening information is so deficient. The ban would add to a list of red countries whose people are barred from coming to the U.S. The list of countries that Trump had on the list when he implemented a travel ban in his first term included Cuba, Iran, Libya, North Korea, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, Venezuela, and Yemen. That sounded good to me, man.
Yeah.
Afghanistan would then be added to the list as a result of a draft proposal, according to the New York Times. Pakistan is also being recommended for the list, Reuters reported. The measure is part of an effort to further vet those that are coming to the United States, as the Trump administration is heavily focused on national security threats from other countries, including with illegal immigration. The new restrictions could bar thousands of Afghans who were previously cleared for resettlement in the U.S. as refugees by the Biden administration after the Afghanistan withdrawal. The disastrous withdrawal saw the reemergence of the Taliban, as well as the death of 13 U.S. soldiers at Abbey Gate. The alleged terrorist behind the bombing attack was recently captured by the Trump administration. As part of his efforts to strengthen U.S. security, President Trump signed an executive order in January mandating enhanced screening of foreign nationals entering the U.S. The order also instructed members of Trump's cabinet to put together a list of countries that would need greater scrutiny for security purposes because their vetting and screening information is so deficient. Yeah. Now we know that in Afghanistan, there's definitely a lot of extremists over there.
Honestly, I would prefer this kind of vetting coming in from most countries at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think you can take a lot for granted these days, personally, as far as I'm concerned. Why take any chances? If we're really going to put our country first, then we need to make sure that people coming in are not going to harm our citizens, and it should be at all cost, to be honest.
That's what Biden wasn't doing.
At all.
Biden was like
America last. What are you talking about?
He was flying in people, like flying in Haitians. Oh, yeah. Trump also, this is probably like a few weeks ago. Trump is not going to allow these Haitians to stay here. Their temporary status, they're supposed to have a temporary status, but that's been going on 15 years.
So he's revoking it now.
He's revoked it. So in August, they can be deported.
Good.
Yeah.
That's all.
I called the men that ran over here cowards. They abandoned their country, and now their country is going to hell by all these gangs and everything. You guys should have stayed there and fought for your country. Now we want to leave.
Well, the funny thing is,
if you're banned by your country, we don't want you in ours. I mean, go to Mexico.
Listen to this, right? When I went to America,
till they get bombed.
Yeah, when I went to America 2.5 years ago, right? this is the process I had to do. Right, I got it's called Electronic Travel Authority, an ETA. You order it online through the US government. They have the site for it. I applied for it. I've had to give obviously my passport number, everything, where I live, phone number, address, everything, all that, like, and within 5 hours of me applying for it, I got my ETA. Now I applied for that about 6 weeks before I went to America. But when I went through pre-clearance in Dublin, because Ireland and the US have a deal in place that you don't go for immigration in America, you do it for in Ireland. Portugal do the same as well. So I didn't even have to show my ETA when I was going through pre-clearance because my passport was on record and all that, like, and they let me through straight away. But they had some Ukrainian guy in front of me beforehand, but he was called into the interview room. But he was able to get through because he was actually on the same flight as me going to New York.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I say, people can get an ETA and they can overstay there as well. It's Europeans doing it as well. They're overstaying their time. Those ETAs, you're only supposed to spend up to 6 weeks in America at one time. But there is people.
So what happens if you were to, what would happen if you were to stay longer? They just start hunting you at that point, I would assume.
Well, I know a couple of people who's overstayed their visas for about 20 years.
See, my wife's mom lives in Las Vegas, and her sister lives in Canada, in Vancouver. And she had been coming down here and staying with her sister, and she was here for a while, but she had to go back to Canada, like briefly, in order to actually come back. She can only stay so long. I don't remember how long it exactly was, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yep.
I hadn't been out of the country, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I went to Mexico.
Been to a lot of states.
It's pretty easy. When I went to Canada, it was easy. When I went to Mexico, it was easy. You know, just show your passport. They ask you some questions. How long are you going to be here? That kind of thing. All right, stamp it. Then you're good to go. Of course, you got to fill out this customs form too as well.
I can travel freely all over Europe, in most countries except Belarus, Serbia, and Russia. So I'd go in with no visa or anything like that. Just go in with the passport and stuff and all that. Like I can travel freely.
That's because England's a part of the
Schengen. The Schengen.
Okay.
But like I say, Ireland's not part of it because Ireland's part of the European Union. You see, so like that way as well. So if I flew from here to like Lithuania was a Soviet republic, but it's now part of the European Union. So flying to Ukraine to Lithuania from Ireland is a breeze. Ukraine, you could before the war, you could actually fly into Ukraine without a visa, but there was a place that you had to have a visa years ago. I think it was around 2010 or something like that. Like Ukraine lifted it, but you actually need a visa to enter Russia. That's cost you about €80. But at the moment, there's no direct flights going from the European Union to Russia. Like I say, the only way if I wanted to go to Moscow now, I'd have to fly to Istanbul first, then fly on to Moscow.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and there used to be direct flights to from London anyway, not Dublin, but it was direct flights from London to Moscow.
I saw something a while back. I guess more and more Americans are actually moving to Russia. Have you seen that? I saw that was kind of wild when I saw that.
No, I know that there was a few athletes.
And they like Americans over there, evidently. You know, for the most part.
Roy Jones Jr. is a Russian citizen.
Yeah. Well, so Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I remember Roy Jones Jr. was actually thanking Putin for letting him become a citizen. You know, this way before, you know, the war and everything like that. So.